Hello everyone, this is the one and only Voyager here. I want to thank you for tuning into this video. I want to do a very heartfelt video for you guys because it's something that has been plaguing me and honestly it's been killing my enthusiasm for anything in terms of content creation. To be honest with you, my last time I did a vlog was 3 years ago. Um, Job situations and then how to try to make more money for myself. And I've landed in a decent place at the moment, comfortable. Um, that's not this video though. What I do want to talk about is the current situation that we have with content creators and the streaming world. First things first, so that I can be more specific and clear for you guys. There's a difference between the streaming world and content creation. Content creation is what I'm doing. Essentially, I make content, pre-recorded content. I edit it, whichever topic it is. Right now, this is a commentary, but in the future, I will be doing photography and AI and tech and whatnot, vlogs that will have nothing to do with commentary. And in terms of the streaming world, it's Twitch majority of the time. It's YouTube streaming, people who just only stream, only live stream, and then they clip their segments because they make shows out of them, and then they upload it to YouTube. Um, Essentially, there's a clear difference between the two, and some people intermix and whatnot. The way I see it, I think both are in the gutter, essentially. We have two camps of people to talk about. Number one is the what I call the traders of content creation, platform traders, in which they build off of humility and decency and professionalism. Let's say like cosplay, for example, but then they have an OnlyFans, and then they leave the platform. They leave the platform that they were already doing just fine in, right? There's a lot of sun coming in that area. Let me get into the shade here. Okay. And so they leave that platform and they go into uh, spaces like Fansly, and OnlyFans. And then you don't hear a peep from them on YouTube. You don't hear a peep from them on Instagram. And it's like every time you see them, get this, every time you see them at a convention, they are in the most lewd, revealing outfits that they didn't make, actually. Would you believe that there used to be a time in which cosplayers made their own costumes? There used to be a time when that happened. Where is it? Where is it now? What happened to it? Right? Now we have all these synthetic Spider-Man jumpsuits that are so easy to fly in from China and Japan. They cost like nothing, but they have the right curves. So that's camp number one. Camp number two is people who sign up to YouTube for the sake of making money. And this is a actually very, very dangerous way to start. If you ask people like Markiplier or Jacksepticeye if they were doing content creation early on in their career, did they ever think that they would be millionaires? They will probably say no. But they only did it because they loved playing video games, they loved making content, they loved interacting with people. Some of them, it was just like a hobby. It was just a hobby. So we're no longer appreciating. I want to say appreciating. We're no longer appreciating the humble beginnings, the small beginnings. We're now worshiping. We're worshiping shortcuts. We're worshiping people who came in 3 or 4 years ago. All of a sudden, have millions of views, but they're sellouts. They have all these sponsors, but they have an OnlyFans, and really, I think I want to be careful here because I don't want to attack the person. I want to attack the mentality, the idea that this is okay. Simply put, is not. Because this mentality of scantily clad women is going to seep into assaults. You are enabling this behavior in men. You're you're essentially saying free advertisement everywhere you go because you don't have a clear thought in your mind that, hey, maybe I should be modest and respectful of myself. Um, it doesn't surprise me that we had that situation with uh, TwitchCon with Emeru. I am so sorry that that had to happen, but it's another example of people who see these scantily clad, dressed women, and they assume everyone else part of Twitch must be like that, including Emerald. And she's been enough. She's been through enough as it is. She's been through way too much as it is. But it's a breeding ground of toxicity. Twitch does nothing about it. Nothing. Nothing at all. That irks me. That bothers me as well. So what do? Toxicity is born and bred by people. So do we kick the people out of the platform forever? We ban them, let them make their own platform on their own website. And do we have some other type of smaller creator who can replace them? Well, that would be nice, but I don't think that's a possibility. I don't think that's realistic. Really, there's a moral rot issue that needs to be addressed. Morality is that a question, a critical question. Why do we need morality? Why do we need standards? Why do we need conditions? Why do people need to set borders for themselves, right? I think the streaming world needs a hard reset. It absolutely does. And I think that these people need to take a grave, critical look on their life decisions, right? Because they had to make some really bad decisions in the past that caught up with them, that makes them behave the way that they do. When you see people online and on these big rants against men, when you see people online on these big rants about politics and they're saying the most heinous, amoral, immoral things possible, you have to think, what type of life decisions did that person make to think that way? What did they do? What is the mentality behind this? Some of it is demonic. Plain and simple. There is a movement behind this. There is a push behind this. That's beyond the physical. It is to disrupt things. It is to corrupt things. Anything that is good is bound to be attacked, right? Because they can't stand righteousness. They can't stand goodness. So it has to be attacked. And there's some harsh truths that need to be learned so that we can figure this out and then move forward. But if you want to do that, go ahead. But people gotta make some choices. They do. And Twitch gotta make some choices too. That, or I don't see a bright future with them now and later on. Later on. You know? I'd rather... I don't want to come up on here and talk about Twitch in that light. I don't. They did it to themselves. They literally did it to themselves. They're the ones who had lackluster policies. They're the ones who had all these policy changes in the past 2 years. Yeah, I've seen that regarding VTubers and these OF models. They just allow them to run rapid all over the internet. The website. By the way, you still have to be 13 plus to make an account on Twitch. Are they updating the guidelines on how to access 18 plus content on there? Yeah, I always wanted to ask that question. I always wanted to ask that question. And I ask the same for YouTube as well. Because too many people get away with too many bad things. There's no accountability as well. So that if you want to know why, where I stand actually, uh, I won't be streaming as much, and it'll just be purely content driven, which was is just me, the camera, doing some photography stuff, doing some tech stuff. I only want 2 sponsors. That's it. Everyone else go away. I'm not selling out, but I think you can really tell with my attitude. I'm ready to, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to pop off. But I don't think I don't think now is the time. I just need to grow. That's all. I just need to create the content that I want to see in the world. That I want to return back, accountability wise, and have a good time with it as well. So that's pretty much it. That's all my thoughts. Be sure to follow, subscribe. I will be doing some more Steampunk Saga Grok AI. I want to do some filmmaking stuff. I really do, but it's just there's tough situations with that as well that I can't control. I pretty much solo YouTuber at the moment. If I get monetization, I will start with a team. You know, that sort of thing to help me edit and create some more stuff. It doesn't mean that the ideas are going away. Don't worry about that. The ideas are still here. I just have to write them down as well. But some things are just going to take a little bit of time to get to. But and anyways, thank you guys for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed my rant. Don't get used to this. Don't get used to this. Only be once in a while. Like and follow, subscribe, share, like for the algorithm, and I'll see you guys later.